Brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Just dragging butt. Mornings at the Cabin. Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Thursday morning. Lecter just kind of rolled in here.
That yawn was actually me.
Was it you?
That wasn't even you.
It wasn't through
I don't
me.
know if you knew that.
Oh, I didn't. I thought it was me.
No, it was me.
Oh, all right. Well, very good. Good morning.
How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. You know, it's a nice bright morning out there. It's a little cold. -10, which means that the winter that kind of crapped out on us yesterday is going to stick around for a few days.
Yeah, it followed up all that sloppy snow with some crisp weather.
Yeah. And
so
now
it really is winter again.
It's all solid again. Yeah, I looked out my backyard. It's like, well, it might as well be 2 months ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And now that swamp will get a nice replenishment when it melts in my backyard. There's some dog poop in there that I really can't wait to get to.
Yeah, you excited about that?
Yeah, it's going to take a couple weeks. You have to let it dry and then take the cake stuff off of there. It's not something you should talk about during breakfast. But if you're having breakfast right now, it means you're up very, very early. Very early. So early, in fact, that maybe you don't notice that we're talking about dog poop. Maybe.
Well, if you're an early riser, I feel like nothing we're going to say is going to get past.
That's right. If you're an early riser, you've already got a strong disposition. There was another word I was looking for there. A strong composure.
Gut.
What?
Gut.
Strong guts.
You're kind of holding your gut.
You gotta hold your gut. Yeah. Disposition, I guess. Or constitution was the word I was looking for. A strong constitution. To be up this early, dog poop talk doesn't faze you unless you're eating Cocoa Pebbles.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Brought to you by Charming and Theatrics production of Mamma Mia. Opening tonight. They had their dress rehearsal last night, and by all accounts, one that I've heard from the person that I live with, it was okay. Which means that they are going to have an excellent run. An excellent run. That's what that means.
I thought you said it was excellent if it was a schmozzle.
Well, schmozzle or okay. Like if you're
Or
fair to
okay.
middling in the dress rehearsal, that means you're going to blow out the tanks. Not to blow out the tanks, but you're gonna hit the ground running on your first show. So
It was a schmokey dress rehearsal.
Schmokey rehearsal. But that's usually how it goes. If you have any experience with shows, it seems to go that way because it kind of like gets everybody psyched. It's just like, you know what I mean? They're fully prepared for that first night.
Right.
So that opens tonight. Go to knt.ca for ticket info. They are nearly sold out from what I've heard. So that's pretty awesome. If we could have sold out shows for them for the entire run, that would be incredible. This is going to be an incredible show. 40 plus cast members, like 46 cast members. So go check it out. knt.ca for ticket info. It's an ABBA musical. And if you don't like ABBA, you're garbage. No, you're not. You're fine. It's
And if our game of ABBA or nonsense yesterday didn't get you in the mood?
Oh, it got me in the mood. I wanted to talk to you about something because yesterday I started feeling some pain.
Wait, pain. Wait. This sounds like the perfect opportunity for the first brand new segment that we teased last week.
Oh, that's right. Okay, go ahead.
What's Jesse angry about today?
Everything. All day. Today it's something specific. It's an interesting segment, I suppose. But no, I started feeling some pain just behind my chin. Now I've had like some swollen gland issues for the last like few weeks, like a sore throat and stuff, but it's kind of come and gone, and it has to do with talking all day long. That's part of it. Yeah. But so I started feeling some pain behind my chin.
Right.
And I woke up this morning, it was a little worse, and I looked in the mirror, and there was a little swelling there, and it wasn't in the normal kind of lymph node areas around like the side of the throat and stuff like that, or because I've got some scarring on my lymph nodes below my ears because I had such terrible ears and had surgeries and whatnot.
Right.
When I was younger, but so I started feeling this pain. It's starting to like affect my jaw a little bit. So I woke up this morning and I was feeling around. It just feels a little swollen, and so of course I came in this morning and I was like, "What does swelling behind the chin mean?"
Announcer's chin.
Announcer's chin. You stick it out too far is all. So a lump under the chin is a bump or mass or swollen area that appears under the chin along the jawline. Blah blah blah. In most cases, it's just nothing.
Wait a minute. Right? You WebMD'd.
I WebMD'd.
You're not
actually I
supposed to do
healthline.com'd.
What is that?
Probably worse. I don't know. Toyota presents healthline.com. So it's just like they say, like, I mean, there's certain things that it could be like clogged sebaceous gland or something like that, or like a lymph node or whatever, just some scarring or whatever it could
punched in the chin.
I got punched in the chin in the middle of the night, which would not, I mean, that's happened before.
We were at trivia last night.
Whatever.
That's wild sometimes.
That gets crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, and there was a dispute at the end, so there could have been a punch in the chin.
Oh, it wasn't a dispute. I don't know what Kevin was doing with his math. He gave us 75 points. We had 77, K-Mac. But you know what? Whatever. It's fine. We'll just win out the rest of the season.
So you duked it out after the game, right? Did. After I left, you walked back in.
Oh, that's right.
Kevin!
I did get uppercutted in the face yesterday. That's what I forgot. But so, it could be any number of things. But I was scrolling through Healthline here, and one of the things it could be is an infection. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. You get infections.
It could literally always be an infection.
Right? So upper respiratory infections include colds and flu. Fine. I don't really have a cold. I don't feel off.
Okay.
Well, I always feel off, but I don't feel ill.
Extra off.
Extra off. A little extra off. Second one, measles. So,
measles.
What I'm thinking is that I have measles now. I'm fairly convinced that I now have measles. And here we are in the studio one together. You are here at your own risk. That is fine.
Okay.
But
I didn't get my booster either.
No, I don't think I got my booster either. So I might have measles. I'm just gonna put that out there that I might have it.
Okay.
Some wretched little turd who didn't get vaccinated probably gave it to me. So just put it out there. I think I have Jesse Measles face.
But wait a minute, Jesse, you were vaccinated.
I was vaccinated.
So why should it matter?
Why should it matter? If vaccines aren't 100% foolproof, then what's the point? Said someone who didn't know what they were talking about. I don't know. I didn't get a booster. I don't think. I mean, if we're being serious, and not just for a little bit.
Yeah.
I probably don't have measles.
We could try being serious.
It's the first thing that popped up. So I was like, well, I guess I have measles. Or strep throat.
The easiest answer.
Or mono. I could have mono.
Oh, you could have mono.
The kissing disease.
Yeah.
I'd be
doing a lot of kissing.
Kissing. Not kiss. That's what I do with my mouth. I kiss with it.
Have you ever had mono before?
I don't think so.
It's
I was really bored for a period in my 20s. That
could have been mono.
Could have been.
I'm not going to lie. You experience a lot of the same symptoms.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't sleep at night. You sleep during the day.
Can't kiss.
No energy.
No energy.
Yeah.
It's what we call depression.
No appetite.
No appetite.
Mono is pretty much like having extreme depression.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. It sucks.
Oh, you've had mono?
I've had mono.
Ah.
Yeah, I actually discovered I had it one time when, my parents used to have an
mono.
Yeah, they used to have mono.
Yep.
I got it. It ran in the family. No, they used to have an above ground pool.
Yeah.
And after a few years, we had it in a space where it was covered by trees, and we decided we wanted to move it into a more open, wide open space where there was more sunlight.
Yeah.
So it was my job, apparently, one summer to prepare the ground to move the pool. So you got to turn up all the dirt. You can't have any grass.
Yeah.
And you got to lay down sand on top.
Yeah.
So I was doing that. I was digging up ground, and I was just completely gassed. And I mean, I was
man.
18, 19 at this time. I was like, I'm in the best shape of my life. Like probably that I'm ever gonna be. Why am I dying? Just digging up ground.
Yeah.
And so I went to the doctor, and they're like, oh yeah, it's because you got mono.
It's because you got mono.
Don't do that anymore. Yeah. You will rupture your spleen.
You got it from your parents.
I was like, all right, guys, I'm out. Can't do any more of this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Doctor says.
Yeah.
So I had to take about a little less than a week off, and exactly that. You have no energy, yet you can't sleep at night.
Ew.
It's so frustrating.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
No, it's not great.
Okay.
I don't wish it upon you.
I don't want measles either.
Between the two.
No. And I mean, I'm not actually joking about measles. It's just
no
that if I did get it, I'd be really pissed off.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the constitution that I'd make it through. I'd make it through treatment, and I'd just be like, I'd be giving kids the stink eye all for the rest of my life.
Get
away from me! Get away from me! Wash your hands.
And that'll do it for today's edition of What's Jesse Angry About Today?
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, It was early. What do you want from us?
Lecter, I know this is not your forte, but I wanted to have a chat with you about
many things.
About some movies.
Oh, God, this is always death.
Talk to the audience. Oh, God.
All right, here we go.
So, one of the biggest movies, what could be one of the biggest movies to ever open, is opening this weekend. That's Avengers Endgame. Some people have already seen it. Stop falling asleep. And what they're calling for, like, Marvel has sent out letters to theaters and also, like, letters, and also posted online saying, don't spoil the Endgame. It's a hashtag, it's trending. They don't want people to talk about it until everybody's had a chance to see it. So, the showings, some of the showings are sold out at Capitol Theater. This is something I've never seen at Capitol Theater before. Maybe it happened last year, but I don't remember. Is that they've got it playing on 2 screens, 2 showings per night. I've never seen that before at the Capitol Theater.
No way.
So it's playing on screen 1 and screen 2, 7, 9, all days this week coming up. So people have been buying their tickets. I've been seeing people on Facebook post that they've got their tickets. I do love the option, like in bigger theaters, where you can select your seat. Yeah. And then you don't have to, be in line and try to get a good seat.
Yeah.
That is the worst. Yeah. Reserving your seat is the best. So, but I'll try to get a ticket at some point. I'm not sure if, I don't want to wait too long because I'd like to see it. I'm very excited to see it.
And someone's going to spoil it for you.
Probably.
If they have to put out
letters. I've been texting with Corinne our predictions and whether, she's not going to be able to see it for a little while. Des isn't going to be able to see it till next week. I don't know what he's going to do. Yeah. He's driving a white horse to see it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think he has to.
That
guy
just everywhere.
Everywhere all the time. But so I wanted to, so I'm pretty excited about it. I know you could not care at all.
I could care less.
Okay.
But not much.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could care less.
A little bit.
So you care a little bit because you're a friend of mine. Yeah. And I'm excited about it.
I care because I'm excited for you.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's like how you were kind of cheering for the Leafs the other night.
I was kind of cheering for the Leafs. Remember?
You like me.
Remember? Yeah. Well, for you, but also because I hate Boston more.
Yeah. I mean, you could have easily spoiled it for me and just told me they were going to lose.
Yeah. No, I didn't want to. No spoilers.
Some time. No spoilers. And some heartache.
I was gonna show up, put the beer on the table, and be like, "They're gonna lose." But I didn't want to be like that.
And I wouldn't have even looked at you. I would have just kept staring at the TV and said, "I know."
I know. I can't look away. So that's opening this weekend. Predictions for that, are kind of off the charts. Will this be the biggest movie ever made? I doubt it. I think it could make the most. Could come close domestically, but domestically, North America, the box office take is like $935 million. And that was Star Wars. So, and the international box office take for the number 1 movie ever is Avatar at $2.85 billion. So this movie will obviously make $1 billion. It'll probably make 2 because I think Avengers: Infinity War made $2 billion. So it's I don't think it can top that. It's a huge movie that a lot of people will see a lot of times, I'm sure. But there's something about Avatar, or say something like Titanic, which was the number 1 movie before,
right?
That kind of crosses a lot more boundaries than Avengers does. Avengers kind of does keep a few people away that are just like, I don't want to see that. But for Titanic or something like Avatar, people are like, I need to go see this just to see it. I mean, I'm not really interested in Fern Gully, the movie, the live action movie, but I want to see this because of all this technology and how it looks, and that's why Avatar, stayed that way. And it's interesting to watch the numbers. This is not interesting to anyone else. To watch the numbers on Titanic and Avatar, because it wasn't like the biggest opening weekends or whatever. It just kept making like $40 and $50 million weekend after weekend after weekend. And Titanic was the number 1 movie when it was released weekends for like 15 weeks ago.
Well, it was like a landmark movie. Everyone had to see it, and you didn't have to, watch 15 movies to know what was going on in this one. That's right. So I remember when Titanic came out, and I didn't see it in theaters when it came out, but I remember my sister and her friends going to see it, and they were like, all super excited.
It's an incredible movie. I mean, say what you will about it, how cheesy it is, the song, blah 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 blah. I feel like I'm flying, all that stuff. It's an incredibly made movie.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And Avatar's the same way. It's like, say what you will about that. It's a rehashed story. It's kind of racist. It's kind of this. It's kind of that. It looks incredible, and it's a remarkable achievement in movie making. So that's why people.
And it was the first 3D.
That's one of the first filmed in 3D.
The first big one.
That's right.
At least that maybe like Spy Kids 3D was before that. Sorry, I won't say anything bad about Spy Kids.
Hey. The other one I want to talk about was Bond 25. It doesn't have a title yet, but the cast has been announced, and Rami Malek will be the villain for Bond 25, which is super cool.
So this is the 25th James Bond movie.
It doesn't have a title yet, but they have started shooting in Jamaica. And so Daniel Craig returning one last time, and then we get to find out the controversy around selecting another Bond. People want Idris Elba. I do too.
Yeah, and I thought Daniel Craig was already done. I didn't know
he was going to get done, and then they were like, "Here's $60 million. Can you do one more?" And he's like, "I don't know. I'm old. Here's $65 million.
Dump truck of money. I'm only human.
He's not made of stone." So I'm kind of the last one was terrible, but this one might be good.
Can we make up some really vague working titles for this Bond film?
Absolutely.
I feel like they all, they're all kind of nondescript.
They are kind of. So the first one he did was Casino Royale, which was a remake of the very first book, one of the very first books, and also a remake of one of the first Bond movies, which was Casino Royale, where David Niven played Bond and Peter Sellers was something in it as well. So he did Casino Royale, and then he did, what was it, Quantum of Solace, which was not good, Skyfall, which was pretty good, and then he did Spectre, which was also not very good.
I can't believe he did that many already.
Yeah, so he's done 4. This is his 5th one. What do you call this one? Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, which means nothing. So we could have a Bond or nonsense game. Bond or nonsense? Dr. No. Quantum of Solace. Well, that's one. Obviously nonsense. Skyfall, Spectre, Bond 25 will be called, with Rami Malek as the villain,
The Sky Is Not Enough.
That's very good. Never say Bohemian Rhapsody again. No, that's no good. Send us your Bond title suggestions.
Yeah, I got nothing else. I'll work on some more.
I have nothing else.
The Sky Is Not Enough.
The Sky Is Not Enough.
Called that.
Perfect. That's perfect.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Obviously, since the legalization of cannabis, we've been going through a few things. Lack of supply, government not being ready, overpriced, creating a gray market in which there's still criminality, but it's a legal substance, so who knows what's going to really happen? What do we do about all these things? Psilocybin's knocking on the door saying, hey, I want to be legal for, depression therapy and whatnot. Same with MDMA, but here we are still squabbling over cannabis. Well, the NWT government has begun the process of deciding who gets to run cannabis dispensaries in Yellowknife. Right now, as we know, we can only get it through the liquor store. And it's great. It's good. It's good. Everything's great. It's good. It's good. It's good. So
you don't have many thoughts on this, is what you're saying.
It's such a cluster cuss, man. It just is. I can't say that whatever. Anyway, a request for qualifications issued by the Territory on April 17th, exactly 6 months after legalization date of cannabis, will pre-screen applicants to determine their ability to establish retail cannabis stores in the city. So one is already starting to open, Relief NT, and they're hoping to one day sell cannabis from the side of the premises there. And any interested parties have until May 29th to submit their initial application. After that, up to 3 applicants will be shortlisted and invited to provide more detailed proposals. So there's a few auditions that you got to go through to get to this stuff. You can find this whole story, cabinradio.ca. Ollie's got that for you. And obviously, we've been following this quite closely. We were there on the first day, ordering up some cannabis. We still have not gotten Ollie to try any, but we're working on it. And we'll have a video of that at some point as well. Possibly. Probably not. That's probably not great.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What I wanted to say is that we should apply.
Oh, yeah?
To dispense cannabis from Cabin Radio.
Some cabinus?
Cabinus. Yes, that's right. Some cabinus. I mean, we're already an Indian takeout restaurant. We are a radio station. We have Girl Guide cookies. You can pick up buttons here, so that's cool. There's
What's left to do?
There's a nice couch that I routinely take naps on. So we're kind of a day shelter as well for me. and then we could be a cannabis dispensary.
Why not?
Yeah, that's right.
We're already doing everything else.
That's right.
May as well just open a dispensary.
We also have a really nice selection of booze in here, so come on in
from time to time.
From time to time,
it's an interesting rotating stock, isn't it?
That's right. So what this means is that one cannabis dispensary could receive permission by the end of the year through the territory. Though the territory has taken care to state it will not necessarily permit any operator if it feels none have passed the test. So this is not an open door. This isn't like we're going to give at least a couple out here. This is like, yeah, if you guys want to set everything up and you do a good proposal and you pass all these things, we will give you one. But it's not necessarily that someone is going to get one, which sounds like the government already kind of going, yeah, we're on board with this, but if you pass all these things, it's kind of like getting a liquor license. It feels like it's going to be jumping through a lot of hoops just to get it done. And I guess and this might be laid out somewhere else, but like where do you get your supply if you're an independent retailer or dispensary? Well, I guess you have to get it from the government, but the government's on a short supply, constantly.
I guess in the future, ideally, as we move forward, some of these
would grow themselves.
Yeah, this local production facility that's being proposed would be the primary go-to source. Yeah. But failing that right now, I assume you would have to go basically through the government. But I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that there be some hoops, maybe not 1,000.
No, there should be hoops, absolutely.
But, maybe like 250 hoops.
250 hoops at least.
To jump through.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, there's obviously the side of it that the market will determine itself and, will kind of regulate itself how many dispensaries are necessary to have in any community in the NWT or city anywhere else.
Yeah.
But I think the thing we want to avoid is having, several just kind of drop in and then having several of those drop out shortly thereafter.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, I certainly don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing that the process be a little bit tedious.
No, absolutely, and it should be for anything like this. Like if you were dispensing, I mean, there's a reason why it's tough to get a liquor license. I think we make it way too tough.
Yeah.
But
for temporary,
especially for temporary stuff, or even like what we've seen happen with businesses here in the past, where you have to like jump through a lot of hoops and spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
In order to get these things to happen. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And like, you're absolutely right. We shouldn't just be like, here's a few things. Like, let's just see what happens. Like we've got like 96 Aurora touring companies. It's like, just give everyone a license and see what happens. The market will sort itself out. Anyway, so we'll see what happens. I'm very interested, and I'd like to see some. But if you have to buy it from the government, that means you have to pay those government prices. So does that mean then that there's markup on top of that? So if you have an independent dispensary, are you paying for the government, and then your tax on that, and then you have to you can't pass on any savings to the consumer, right? So I mean,
I would assume there's got to be some kind of like wholesale price for for a dispensary. Yeah, you're not going to pay a retail price and then mark it up on top of that, because like that just makes no sense.
Well, I mean, and they've kind of the ball has been dropped a little bit. Like there was a 420 celebration in Vancouver that a friend of mine was at. And I mean, people were asking, why do you still have this? It's legal. It's just like this. It's never about it was about a protest, but it was also about just celebrating what cannabis is and what it can be and what it can do.
Right.
So the guy he took some pictures. There was a guy on a table selling it by the pound, $1,100 for a pound. So that's 16 ounces, which is
that seems like it shouldn't be illegal.
It's $1,100. I mean, that's a good deal.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good deal.
I mean. But
less than $100 an ounce.
That seems sketchy.
Why is that sketchy?
Well, because it's like bootlegging liquor. I mean, did he get a license?
Hey, this town has a long, storied history of bootlegging liquor. All right,
fair. All right. Unmarked cigarettes.
Unmarked cigarettes. Lucy's.
Is that what they call them?
Something like that. Yeah. So we'll obviously be following the story as it develops, and we'll see. And then if we have some people that are applying, maybe we should have them in here and have them talk about that process. I guess we'll see what happens with Relief NT. Hopefully they can get all those permits in and pass all these tests, and we'll see if a private dispensary works.
Unless part of the test is keeping it quiet.
Oh.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
slow pitch season is inching ever closer, even though this little setback in the weather in the last couple of days has set us back a little bit, and we're still going to play. We're going to play 57 games.
Oh, that grass is going to be nice and lush.
Oh, luscious grass. Between May and June 1st, 57 games on the schedule. So I can't wait.
It's just like real baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Throw a few afternoon games, a few double headers in there.
Oh, an afternoon game would be great. Can you imagine? Just throw like a Friday afternoon game. Just like you got to get off work early.
Yeah.
Start at 2.
That'd be nice.
That'd be great.
If everyone could just buy in, make this slow pitch season all that it could be.
I mean, we buy in for Long John Jamboree.
Yeah.
Right? Get a half a day off.
Yeah.
Let's buy in for slow pitch.
Why not?
I mean, most people take it off anyway, like especially around tournament time.
Yeah.
How is the Cabin Radio team coming together?
Cabin Radio team is looking good. I put out a mass message to the whole team yesterday.
People are leaving that group.
I got a little concerned for a minute because there was a few people jumping ship from our group chat. I was like, all right, you're off. That's fine.
See you later.
But you know what? I get it. If you're not fully invested and you're not sure that you want to be a part of a team, you certainly don't want to be in the middle of a group chat.
That's right.
On Messenger and getting berated by messages that you want nothing to do with.
Well, I don't understand why I've never left notifications on. You know what I mean? Like I'll get a notification that I got a message, but I've never left. Like when people get text messages, it goes bing, bing. I'm like, why do you have that on? You know you're going to look at your phone, and you know you're going to get text messages. Like. You don't need to be binged every time you get a text message because they pick it up every time it gets binged. It's like, why not leave it for a few minutes and then pick it up later and then answer all your messages? My phone is on silent constantly.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you meant you put your phone on silent
I did.
or you just turn your notifications off because that would be a smarter way to do it.
I do both.
You do both.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
notifications off.
Yeah.
Silence on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always just turn my phone on silent, and then I get yelled at by Nicole when she needs to call me for something, and I never answer the phone.
Yeah, no, there are some setbacks to having your phone on silent, but I have come to a comfortable place with my phone addiction that I know I'm going to look at it a few times every minute. So I know when I missed a call.
Yeah.
And chances are, also, why are you calling me? Nobody calls anymore. No, it's one of those things though. But I mean, I should leave it on. Maybe just for phone calls.
Yeah.
And I've got my ringer. Do you remember what my ringer is?
No.
Oh my God, I'm a dump truck.
Is that still your ringer?
Yeah. So every once in a while it goes off in the vehicle because it's connected by a Bluetooth, and like my music will cut out, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm a dump truck.
I would actually look forward to getting phone calls.
Somebody call me.
But yes, getting back to slow pitch.
Yes.
So we have lost a few.
It's fine.
But we have gained a few also.
We lost Dan Campbell. I saw. So
did he leave?
He left the group.
Damn.
And I feel like
Dan's trying to start his own. He's got aspirations.
Trying to start his own.
Well, they had a team last year.
Yeah.
The Terra Rex team.
Yes.
And they're still hoping to put a team together. I don't know what their status is, but I think their plan is to put a team together as well. So
the little I know of Daniel is that he knows baseball. So I like a person who knows baseball on my team.
And he's not as grumpy as Mike Gibbons.
Gibbons is grumpy.
So
and violent.
But entertaining.
Yep.
You got to give him that. But yes, we are nailing down the final roster.
All right.
We've got at least 12 full or part-time committed players.
That is not enough.
Few spares as well. It's, you know what, it's going to be okay, I think.
Okay.
And between a few other teams, we've got, a few that kind of overlap in circles. So I feel like we'll have kind of like a slow pitch collective.
Okay.
And if we ever run short, we can pull from other teams, or other teams can pull from us.
We're going to need a space for that. If we're going to be a collective, we'll need a space.
We will. That's absolutely. Well, Cabin Radio is the space. Right. So the AGM, of course, is this weekend. AGM and team registration this weekend at the top night. So if you are running a slow pitch team, or you are part of a slow pitch team and you don't have total confidence in your manager that they know what's going on, maybe give them a heads up that, yes, this weekend is the AGM and registration, and you have to have, I think it's 2 team representatives there.
All right.
So I will be there. You want to come?
When is it?
It's Saturday.
What time?
Oh, no, you're working.
I work.
Right.
For a living.
All right. anyone else wants to be a Cabin Radio, you know what? We'll have like a second representative by default because Mike is on the board.
There you go.
So yeah, I don't know if that counts or not, but I feel like we can squeeze through the gray area.
That's a
there.
loophole.
Yeah,
That's a
probably
loophole.
Okay.
So an AGM this weekend. Do you think Yellowknife has the most AGMs per capita in the world? Because every weekend, I swear to God, it's our annual AGM. It's like you literally just had one. We have 6 a year.
Our semi-annual meeting.
A Bimon Sci-Fi Con. All right.
You could be right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of AGMs. But okay, so we're getting organized. We're looking good. When does the season start?
Well, that's a good question. I don't
Mid-May, I would imagine, after all the snow's gone.
Here we go. 2019 schedule. YellowknifeSlowPitch.com.
Okay.
Your source
Here we are.
for everything Yellowknife Slow Pitch.
Click on
They've got supposedly the 2019 schedule up, but they've already got results from the games that are
great.
on that schedule.
Those are aggregate scores from last year.
That's right. They all factor in.
That's right.
So yeah, I don't believe we know when the season will kick off yet, but it is generally late May.
Yeah.
When you have your first game, or just whenever the diamonds happen to dry up enough to play.
And drinking is encouraged.
Drinking is strictly prohibited.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Very good. Okay, this is a question, because I haven't played organized slow pitch in Canada, in Yellowknife for a while.
Right.
But I played when I was living in BC.
Okay.
Now, in BC, with the BC Slow Pitch Federation, you have to wear cleats. Not metal cleats, but plastic cleats, as part of their insurance and liability.
Really?
And that is not a rule for the NWT Slow Pitch. Because I see people it's
definitely not a rule.
It's not
here.
right, and
No.
I've seen people wearing skater shoes. Like, you are going to rip your ankle off your body.
What do you mean?
You're just going to do it.
I would think you're almost, especially if you're not experienced wearing baseball cleats.
Yeah,
it might be more of a danger to you to wear baseball cleats.
I suppose.
But
I mean, it's one of those things that, in BC, it's like because of insurance liability, you have to wear those things. So
right.
Yeah.
Interesting
indeed. Trying to keep people safe in BC.
I hope that doesn't come here because I don't want to pay for baseball cleats.
I bought a pair for like $30.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Jason Mellison, a friend of the show, just wrote and said, first off, I'm hurt. I wasn't invited to the team. Sorry, Jason. Second, Mike will count as our second representative. And third, when the snow melts is when the games are starting.
Well, in response, Jason, I was fairly sure you already had a team with the Gap team there.
That's right.
Don't you also play fast pitch?
Don't you also play fast pitch, Mellison? Why do you want to play slow pitch as well? I kind of want to play fast. I'm in no shape to do it, but I'd love to play fast pitch again. And third, when the snow melts. Well, we just got a new blanket of it.
So we got some time to wait.
And he also says wear cleats. But sorry, Jason, wear cleats as in where? Like where are they?
Where are the cleats?
Where are the cleats?
I will not wear cleats. But anyway, yes. So the AGM and like I said, team registration this weekend at Top Nights. Tell your team manager if they are aloof.
They probably won't listen to you if you tell them that they're aloof.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.